Lily lived in a little blue house with a white picket fence. Next door lived Tom. Tom was everything Lily tried not to think about. He had kind eyes, a smile that crinkled the corners, and he always seemed to be fixing something outside, making him look strong and capable. Lily had been watching him for months. She'd peek through her curtains, pretending to check the weather, but really just hoping to catch a glimpse of him watering his flowers or washing his car. She'd even strategically placed a bird feeder near the property line, hoping to engineer a casual encounter. But nothing. He was always polite, a quick wave and a "Good morning!" But that was it. He seemed oblivious to the fact that she existed as anything more than the person who lived next door. It was frustrating. She was funny, she was smart, and she made a killer lasagna. Why couldn't he see that? She was tired of pretending she didn't notice him, tired of the casual waves, tired of feeling like just another house on the street. She wanted him to see her. Really see her. The kind of see that made his heart do a little flip-flop. She needed to do something drastic, to break through the polite neighbor barrier. She needed a plan. And luckily, her birthday was just around the corner. The birthday plan had been forming in her mind for weeks. It was risky, a little crazy, and definitely out of character, but Lily was done playing it safe. She was turning 28, and she didn't want to spend another year just watching Tom from afar. Her birthday dawned bright and sunny, a perfect summer day. As she ate her breakfast, a single pancake with a candle stuck in it, she finalized the details in her head. The bikini, a bright pink one she'd bought on sale last year and never worn, was crucial. It was cute, but not too revealing. Just enough to make him notice. The location was key too. The far corner of her yard, closest to his sunbathing spot, offered the best visibility. The towel was the most important prop. A big, fluffy beach towel, the kind that screams, "I'm relaxed and carefree." The drop had to look accidental, of course. She'd practiced in her bedroom mirror, perfecting the nonchalant shrug that would send the towel tumbling to the ground. It was all very theatrical, she knew, but sometimes, life needed a little drama. This was her moment to take control and rewrite her story with Tom. This was her birthday gift to herself, a chance at something more. With her pancake finished and the plan firmly in place, Lily headed upstairs. The pink bikini lay waiting on her bed, looking far more intimidating now than it had in the store. She took a deep breath and slipped it on. Looking in the mirror, she felt a mix of nervousness and excitement. It was cute. And she had been doing her squats. She grabbed the fluffy towel, her heart pounding in her chest like a drum solo. This was it. No turning back now. Taking another deep breath, she opened the back door and stepped out into the sunshine. The air felt warm on her skin, a welcome contrast to the butterflies fluttering in her stomach. She walked slowly towards the designated corner of her yard, trying to appear as casual as possible. She busied herself pretending to examine her rose bushes, snipping off a dead bloom with unnecessary force. It was all an act, of course. Her eyes were constantly darting towards Tom's yard, searching for her target. This was more nerve-wracking than any test she'd ever taken. It was showtime. And there he was. Tom, stretched out on a lawn chair, sunglasses perched on his nose, a book resting on his chest. He looked incredibly relaxed, completely unaware of the drama about to unfold. Lily's heart skipped a beat. This was it. She took another deep breath, trying to calm her racing pulse. She needed to appear natural, like this was the most normal thing in the world. She casually strolled closer to the property line, humming a little tune she didn't even know. She bent down to admire a particularly vibrant rose, positioning herself perfectly for the towel drop. Now was the time. She straightened up, pretending to stretch. She let out a small, theatrical groan, as if her back was suddenly aching. And then, with a perfectly practiced shrug, she let the towel slip from her shoulder. It landed with a soft thump on the grass. "Oh!" she exclaimed, feigning surprise. "Oops!" She glanced sideways, her heart pounding in her ears. Had he seen it? Was he looking? The moment of truth had arrived. All the planning, all the nervousness, all the self-doubt, hinged on his reaction. This was the point of no return. Tom's sunglasses were still perched on his nose, but the book had definitely fallen to the side. His head was turned in her direction, and she could see the distinct curve of a smile playing on his lips. He was looking. Really looking. He slowly sat up, pushing his sunglasses up his nose. His eyes widened slightly as they met hers. There was a flicker of surprise, followed by something else. Something that made Lily's stomach do a little flip. It was the look she had been hoping for, the look that said, "Wow, I never really noticed you before." He cleared his throat. "Need a hand with that?" he asked, his voice a little rougher than usual. Lily bit back a smile. "Oh no, I'm fine," she said, bending down to retrieve the towel. She made sure to take her time, giving him a little something to look at. As she straightened up, she caught his eye again. The smile was still there, but it was different now. It was a knowing smile, a playful smile. "Happy birthday, Lily," he said, his voice warm. "I almost didn't recognize you without the gardening gloves." Bingo. He knew it was her birthday. He'd been paying attention all along. The plan had worked. "Thank you," Lily replied, trying to keep her voice steady. "And thank you for noticing. I was starting to think I was invisible." Tom chuckled. "Invisible? Not a chance." He paused, then added, "So, birthday plans? Anything exciting?" "Just relaxing," she said, trying to sound nonchalant. "Maybe some cake later. You know, the usual." "Cake sounds good," Tom said, leaning forward slightly. Maybe I could help you celebrate? I make a pretty mean chocolate frosting." Lily's heart did a little jump. This was going better than she could have ever hoped. "That sounds lovely," she managed to say, trying not to sound too eager. "Great," Tom said, standing up. "How about I come over around 7? We can fire up the grill, have some burgers, and then attack that cake." "It's a date," Lily said, a genuine smile spreading across her face. As Tom walked back towards his lawn chair, Lily couldn't help but grin. The towel drop had worked its magic. He definitely looked at her differently now. And she had a feeling this was just the beginning of something wonderful. The best birthday ever. The rest of the afternoon flew by in a flurry of excitement. Lily cleaned her house, picked out the perfect outfit for her, casual, birthday dinner, a sundress with little yellow flowers, and even attempted to bake a cake, although she quickly decided that Tom's frosting skills were definitely needed. As 7 o'clock approached, Lily's nerves started to return. What if the date was awkward? What if they had nothing to talk about? What if he was only being nice because he felt bad about staring? But when Tom knocked on her door, all her worries melted away. He was holding a container of chocolate frosting and a 6-pack of her favorite soda. He was wearing a simple t-shirt and jeans, but he looked incredibly handsome. "Ready for some birthday burgers?" he asked, his eyes twinkling. As they grilled the burgers and laughed over silly jokes, Lily realized that she had nothing to worry about. Tom wasn't just being nice. He was genuinely interested in her. He asked about her job, her hobbies, her dreams. He listened intently, making her feel like she was the most interesting person in the world. And as they ate cake, covered in Tom's amazing chocolate frosting, Lily knew that the towel drop had been more than just a silly stunt. It had been the spark that ignited something real, something special. Something she had been hoping for all along. After that night, things were different. The quick waves across the yard turned into longer conversations. He'd stop by with extra cookies his mom had baked, or ask for her opinion on the best way to prune his tomato plants. He even started walking her dog, Buster, when she was running late from work. It wasn't just the frequency of their interactions that changed, it was the quality. Tom seemed genuinely interested in getting to know her. He remembered the little things she told him, like her love for old movies or her secret obsession with collecting vintage teacups. He'd bring her flowers he'd picked from his garden, or leave little notes on her doorstep. One evening, As they were sitting on her porch swing, watching the sunset, Tom turned to her and said, "You know, I feel like I've been living next to you for years, but I'm just now really seeing you." Lily smiled. "It took a towel drop to get your attention," she teased. Tom laughed. "Maybe," he admitted. "But I'm glad it did. You're pretty amazing, Lily. I feel so lucky to have you as my neighbor." Lily leaned her head on his shoulder. "I feel pretty lucky too, Tom." And she did. It was like a whole new world had opened up, all thanks to a pink bikini and a well-placed towel. The days that followed her birthday weren't all sunshine and porch swings, though. There was a definite undercurrent of awkwardness at first. It was like they were both tiptoeing around the elephant in the room, the pink bikini and the strategically dropped towel. Lily found herself overthinking every interaction. Was she being too forward? Too flirty? Was Tom just being polite? She'd catch him looking at her, and quickly look away, blushing furiously. Tom, for his part, seemed a little unsure of himself. He'd stumble over his words, or accidentally spill his coffee, acting generally flustered around her. One afternoon, as she was watering her flowers, Tom came over to apologize for staring the other day. "I didn't mean to be rude," he said, looking down at his shoes. "It's just, I guess I never really saw you before." Lily laughed, relieved that he was addressing the awkwardness. "It's okay, Tom," she said. "I may have been trying to get your attention." He looked up, surprised. "Really? Maybe just a little," she admitted, smiling. The air cleared after that. They could finally be honest with each other, acknowledging the playful and slightly ridiculous way they had connected. It was the beginning of something real, and they both knew it. The heightened awareness remained, but the awkwardness faded, replaced by a comfortable and growing affection. That first conversation, the one where Tom apologized for staring, was a turning point. It wasn't just an apology, it was an opening. A chance for them to connect on a deeper level. After the initial awkwardness subsided, the conversations became easier, more natural. They talked about everything and nothing. About their favorite books, their childhood memories, their hopes for the future. Lily learned that Tom was a carpenter, that he loved hiking in the mountains, and that he had a secret talent for playing the ukulele. Tom learned that Lily was a writer, that she dreamed of traveling the world, and that she was a master of trivia. They discovered shared passions, like their love for old movies and their commitment to recycling. They also discovered differences, like Tom's love for spicy food and Lily's preference for mild flavors. But even their differences became a source of amusement and connection. One evening, as they were sitting on her porch, sipping lemonade, Tom turned to Lily and said, "You know, I really enjoy talking to you. You're easy to talk to." Lily smiled. "I feel the same way," she said. "I feel like I can tell you anything." And it was true. She felt comfortable and safe with Tom, like she could be herself without fear of judgment. Their conversations were building a foundation of trust and understanding, paving the way for something more. The more they talked, the more they realized how much they had in common, and the more they wanted to explore the possibility of a real relationship. The more they talked, the stronger their connection became. They discovered they shared a similar goofy sense of humor. They could make each other laugh until their stomachs hurt, and they found joy in the simplest things, like watching silly cat videos online or making up ridiculous stories about the squirrels in their yards. Their conversations weren't just about superficial things, though. They delved into deeper topics, sharing their fears and vulnerabilities. Lily learned about Tom's struggles with his family business, and Tom learned about Lily's anxieties about her writing career. They offered each other support and encouragement, helping each other through difficult times. One rainy afternoon, as they were huddled together on the couch, watching a classic black and white movie, Tom turned to Lily and said, "You know, I think I'm falling for you." Lily's heart skipped a beat. She had been feeling the same way, but she was afraid to say it out loud. "I think I'm falling for you too," she whispered. Tom smiled, and gently took her hand. "So," he said, "does this mean we're officially more than just neighbors?" Lily laughed. I think it does, she said. And with that, their relationship took a new turn. They were no longer just friendly neighbors, they were something more. They were on the path to love. The next day, Tom officially asked Lily out on a date. I know we've been spending a lot of time together, he said, but I was wondering if you'd like to go out on a real date. You know, dinner, a movie, the whole shebang? Lily's heart fluttered. I'd love that, she said, smiling. Tom suggested a local Italian restaurant that Lily had always wanted to try. He made reservations for Saturday night, and Lily spent the rest of the week looking forward to it. She couldn't help but feel a little giddy, like a teenager going on her first date. She spent hours trying to decide what to wear. She finally settled on a simple black dress that she knew Tom liked. She wanted to look nice, but not too dressed up. After all, she wanted him to see her, the real her, not just a perfectly styled version of herself. Saturday night arrived, and Lily could barely contain her excitement. She took extra care getting ready, humming to herself as she curled her hair and applied her makeup. When Tom arrived, he looked even more handsome than usual. He was wearing a button-down shirt and jeans, and he had a single red rose in his hand. You look beautiful, he said, handing her the rose. Lily blushed. Thank you, she said. You look pretty good yourself. As they walked to the restaurant, hand in hand, Lily knew that this was going to be a night to remember. This was more than just a date. It was the beginning of something truly special. The Italian restaurant was cozy and romantic, with soft lighting and the smell of garlic and herbs filling the air. Tom and Lily were seated at a quiet table in the corner, and they immediately fell into easy conversation. They talked about their families, their jobs, their dreams for the future. They laughed, they shared stories, and they discovered even more things they had in common. Tom told Lily about his grandfather, who had immigrated from Italy and started the family carpentry business. Lily told Tom about her struggles to get her writing published. As the evening progressed, their chemistry became undeniable. They found themselves reaching for each other's hands, their eyes lingering a little longer than necessary. There was a spark between them, a palpable energy that filled the air. After dinner, they went for a walk in the park. The moon was full, casting a silvery glow over the trees. Tom stopped by a small bridge and took Lily's hands in his. I had a really great time tonight, he said, his voice soft. Me too, Lily said, gazing into his eyes. He leaned in closer and gently kissed her. It was a sweet, tender kiss, and it sent shivers down Lily's spine. In that moment, she knew that she was falling in love with Tom. The rest of the evening was a blur of happiness. They walked hand in hand, talking and laughing, completely lost in each other's company. When Tom dropped her off at her door, he kissed her again, lingering a little longer this time. I can't wait to see you again, he said, smiling. Me neither, Lily replied, already counting down the minutes until their next date. A few weeks into their relationship, as they were curled up on the couch watching a movie, Lily turned to Tom and said, You know, we never really talked about the towel incident. Tom chuckled. The towel incident? You mean your brilliant plan to get my attention? Lily blushed. It wasn't that brilliant, she said. It was actually pretty ridiculous. Ridiculous, maybe, Tom said, but effective. I have to admit, it definitely worked. I was completely captivated. So, you saw me planning it all along? Lily asked playfully. Let's just say I noticed you were spending an awful lot of time near the rose bushes that day, Tom said, winking. And I definitely noticed the pink bikini. They both laughed, acknowledging the playful and slightly absurd nature of their first real interaction. It was a reminder of Lily's boldness and Tom's initial obliviousness, but also a testament to the power of taking a chance. I'm glad I dropped that towel, Lily said, snuggling closer to Tom. Me too, Tom said, kissing her forehead. It was the best accidental towel drop I've ever seen. They continued to tease each other about the towel incident, turning it into a running joke in their relationship. It was a light-hearted reminder of how they had found each other, a story they would tell for years to come. It was a quirky beginning to a love story that was just getting started. As the months went by, Lily and Tom's relationship blossomed. They went on countless dates, exploring new restaurants, hiking in the mountains, and attending local festivals. They met each other's families and friends, and everyone loved them as a couple. They supported each other's dreams, cheering each other on through thick and thin. Tom helped Lily renovate her backyard, building her a beautiful writing studio where she could finally focus on her novel. Lily encouraged Tom to take a woodworking class, where he discovered a passion for creating intricate furniture. They learned to navigate each other's quirks and imperfections, accepting each other for who they were. They argued sometimes, of course, but they always found a way to work through their disagreements, emerging stronger and more connected than before. With each passing day, their feelings for each other deepened. They realized that they had found something truly special, a love that was both passionate and comfortable, exciting and secure. They were best friends, confidants, and soulmates. One warm summer evening, as they were sitting on her porch swing, watching the fireflies twinkle in the twilight, Tom turned to Lily and said, "I love you, Lily. More than anything in the world." Lily smiled, tears welling up in her eyes. "I love you too, Tom," she said. "More than words can say." And in that moment, they knew that their love story was just beginning. They were ready to face whatever the future held together. Soon after their declaration of love, Lily and Tom started talking about their future together. They discussed moving in together, combining their homes and creating a cozy nest where they could build their lives. They debated the merits of his house versus hers, ultimately deciding to buy a new place together, a little cottage with a big garden, perfect for both writing and woodworking. They dreamed of traveling the world, exploring exotic destinations and experiencing new cultures. They started saving for a trip to Italy, Tom's ancestral homeland, where they planned to visit his grandfather's village and eat all the pasta they could find. They talked about marriage, about children, about growing old together, side by side, on their porch swing, watching the sunsets and reminiscing about their crazy love story. They imagined themselves surrounded by family and friends, celebrating their milestones and supporting each other through life's challenges. One sunny afternoon, as they were browsing through antique shops, Tom stopped in front of a jewelry store. He took Lily's hand and led her inside. He pointed to a beautiful diamond ring, sparkling under the lights. "What do you think?" he asked, his eyes shining. Lily's heart skipped a beat. "It's beautiful," she whispered. Tom smiled. "Then let's get it," he said. And with that, their future became even clearer, even more exciting. They were on the path to a lifetime of happiness, a journey filled with love, laughter, and endless possibilities. Their future was bright, promising, and full of the kind of joy that only comes from finding your soulmate. Years later, as Lily stood in her wedding dress, ready to walk down the aisle, she couldn't help but smile as she thought about that fateful day. It had all started with a pink bikini, a fluffy towel, and a whole lot of nerve. She had been so tired of pretending not to notice Tom, so frustrated with feeling invisible. She had wanted to take control of her own destiny, to rewrite her story and create a different ending. And she had done it. Her boldness had paid off, leading her to the love of her life. She had taken a chance, stepped outside of her comfort zone, and dared to be a little bit crazy. And it had been the best decision she had ever made. As she walked down the aisle, her eyes met Tom's. He was standing at the altar, beaming at her with so much love and happiness. She knew that they were meant to be together, that their love story was a testament to the power of fate and the importance of taking risks. She thought about all the adventures they had shared, all the challenges they had overcome, and all the love they had found along the way. She realized that sometimes, the greatest rewards come from the most unexpected places. And sometimes, all it takes is a pink bikini and a well-placed towel to change your life forever. She squeezed Tom's hand, knowing their happily ever after was just beginning.